Alright, YouTube preppers, this is Irish Prepper coming at you again with another video about the 6 dangerous myths about water. Okay, I'm going to make this video nice and short. As with everything in survival, there are a lot of rumors floating around about how, about what works best and what works and what doesn't as far as water goes, okay? And what you can drink and what you can't drink. When it comes to staying hydrated and water survival, there is no exception. We found a number of the most prevalent urban myths and dangerous rumors that have been passed along and decided to address them here. So, number 1, running water is safe to drink. Don't count on it. Okay, remember it came from somewhere, and the source or what it came in contact with between the source and reaching your location could be suspect. Okay. Typically, you have to choose between running water and stagnant water. Always default to the former, to the running water, but make sure you also treat and purify the water before you consume it, if you can. If that's an option, always take that option. Okay? Number 2, eating snow is a great way to rehydrate safely. That's not a good idea. No. Okay? This can actually lead to further dehydration due to the process your body has to go through to heat and melt the snow once you've eaten it. Okay, it can also lead to hypothermia. Okay, also if the snow has been on the ground for a significant period of time, it could contain bacteria or other organisms that can make you sick. Always try to melt snow before you consume it. If the snow is not pure, white, and fresh, stay away from it, or at least make sure you purify and treat it as you would any other suspect water that you're not sure about. Okay. And do that after you melt it. I'm going to fix this here a little bit. So the third one, drinking salt water drinking salt water is safe as long as you do it in small amounts. That is no. Okay, that's not true. Drinking salt water in any amount will lead to further dehydration and death more quickly than if you went without water at all. Okay? There is one little exception to this. Let's say you're stranded in a rowboat or sailboat or something, I don't know, whatever. The situation is you're stranded in the middle of the ocean. Okay? Waiting for somebody to come pick you up. You floated away from land or whatever it is. Okay? And you have one bottle full of good water. Okay, let's say it's just like a liter bottle. All right, just one of the small, Aquafina bottles or something like that. What you would do is you would drink about 1/3 of that, maybe less, maybe just a quarter of that water. Okay, so you'd split that up between you and whatever other people are there. Okay, you just take a sip, or if it's just you, just drink that. Okay, and then you would fill it back up with salt water. Okay, the rest of the water will dilute that enough that it's almost just like drinking like a Gatorade, which is a very salty drink, and that's the salt is what gives you the electrolytes that's in Gatorade. Okay, not very good electrolytes, but that's how it works. Okay, so you can't fill the bottle back up only if it's 1/3 of a bottle or less. And the other 2/3 or more is filled up with fresh water. That'll mix and desalinate the water enough and dilute it enough that you can drink it. Okay. Number 4, water found in natural depressions is safe to drink. This isn't true. This should be treated before drinking. It has all the risks associated with stagnant groundwater and runoff. Okay, so always bring that water up to 100 degrees, okay? The second it starts to bubble, don't waste your fuel anymore. Turn off the fuel if you're using like gas or something like that, if you have access to that, propane or whatever. And if wood's a scarcity, it seems like, fuel as a fuel to burn, don't waste any more getting that water burning for a minute or so. As soon as it starts to boil, even the littlest bit, it's done. It's reached 100 degrees, and that's all you need to do. You don't have to waste fuel keeping it going for a minute or two or whatever some people say. Okay, 100 degrees, it's done. Drinking urine, number 5, will prevent dehydration. You can drink urine 1 to 2 times in an extreme emergency, but you have to remember urine is how your body passes waste products out of your body. Okay, that there is more water than waste products in a well-hydrated individual. However, the ratio goes down as your dehydration levels go down. Hence, your urine will become darker and more, darker colored as you become more dehydrated. To turn around and put those waste products back into your body and force it to process and filter that stuff all over again causes more work and bogs your body's systems down. Okay, this forces your body to need more water to complete the body processes created by the increased workload. Okay, it is a process of diminished returns, so that's why you can only do it 1, maybe 2 times, depending on how dehydrated you were to begin with. Okay, and eventually your body, if you keep on drinking that, your body's actually going to shut down. You'll die. Okay, number 6 right there, barrel cacti are a great source of water. This isn't necessarily true. Although some cacti do hold water, the odds are that inside will be tough and fibrous, and the water contained in it won't be abundant. Okay, it's not going to be worth it. In addition, there is a greater likelihood that the water inside will be bitter and acidic, which could induce vomiting and diarrhea and cramps, and you don't want to be dealing with dehydration on top of vomiting, diarrhea, okay, which those 2 things will cause more dehydration and cramps on top of that, okay, and these are debilitating cramps. They're gonna knock you over, okay. This would further complicate those things. They would further complicate a survival situation and speed up your dehydration. So those are the 6 quick dangerous myths that I've come up with about water. Just keep these in mind. Obviously, as preppers, we're trying to set aside water and be prepared with cisterns to catch rainfall in if we can. But this is just some of the stuff. The other side of prepping is just being prepared for any type of emergency. This could come in handy. Any one of these things could happen. Though some are remote. If you get stuck out in the middle of the ocean, yeah, I mean, how often is that going to happen? But it could happen. It could. And the same thing with the barrel cactus. Being in Utah, southern Utah, we have a couple of barrel cacti type cactuses down there, and it's a possibility you could get stuck out there in the middle of nowhere. You're out 4-wheeling, and you're going to be out there for a couple days hiking back in, and if nobody knows where to look for you, yeah, I mean, it could happen. So yeah. Alright, well, that's it for right now. Thank you. This is Irish Prepper, and keep tuned. We'll be back in a little bit. Thanks.